everybody, and welcome back to the Forza World Podcast. This is episode 10.
Episode 10. That's my old racing number.
10.
Yep. When I used to race at Delaware. We were at Delaware,
We
actually.
were at Delaware.
A couple weeks ago there. Yeah, that was my old racing number. It was, it's just half-scale kind of cars. So
Okay.
kind of like American-ish go-karts, but
cool.
circle track stuff. So,
nice.
Oval track, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But-
track.
Yeah, that was the villain origins, as they were. But
Ooh,
yeah, man,
very
10
nice.
episodes. It's flying by, that's for sure.
It is.
So, but we got a lot to talk about here. We've been taking a couple little, some siestas, some weeks off.
A little bit of breaks.
And yeah, we got some catching up to do.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right into this. First thing first thing you want to talk about is the new Pagani.
Yeah, usually I think we do the
Pagani-
news on the back end or kind of later in the show, but
Yep.
I think I want to catch up on some news first.
Yeah.
And something we got to talk about before we get into the Forza stuff. We got 10th anniversary stuff going on right now.
Yep.
10th episode, 10th anniversary. Ha ha ha
Ha
ha.
ha ha ha.
Speaking of ha ha ha, sarcastically, the Pagani.
The Utopia.
The Utopia specifically.
It's such a
I
bad name.
hate it. I hate it.
It's
I don't
ugly.
I don't like the name. I think it's kind of ugly. Interior wise and from an engineering standpoint, it's still beautiful. Like
Yes.
it still looks impressive and significant. But I don't think it looks good.
No.
It just looks stupid. You made the Zonda. You made the fucking Zonda Cinque. Okay?
In the Cinque Roadster.
Yeah. Some of the most beautiful pieces of automotive
And the
art
Tricolore.
ever.
Tricolore.
The Huayra,
Oh my
terrible
God.
name, but I mean the Huayra was still a good looking car. The
It was.
interior, the shifter, everything, the little leather accents.
The key.
Yes. And then you make this thing. Horatio, buddy. Lay off the weed, man. Oh my God. I don't know what the problem was.
I don't know.
It just looked at a really piss poor attempt. Remember how De Tomaso had their whatever car, that red one with the gold wheels.
Was it the?
I don't know if it's a new Pantera. I don't think so.
No. It's the. I know which one you mean, but yeah, and there's a couple rolling around. Some are light blue, some are dark green. They're at like the Pebble Beach and whatever.
P72.
P72. That's it.
it.
Yeah.
Beautiful car. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Gorgeous car.
Yep.
Like to me, the Utopia feels like a failed P72.
Okay. Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That might not be, I don't think it's an accurate comparison mechanically. I just feel like appearance wise, I don't know. It just feels like there's similar cues.
I feel like the design of the Utopia tried a little bit too hard to do like a reverse retro thing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought De Tomaso, because it was like an old spin on a new car and trying to like have some of the old elements of the old cars maybe, and just like old automotive cues too. I don't know. I just feel like it looks stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't work.
It's like blocky or something.
But it's kind of bubbly at the same time.
Bubbly too? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. I don't know. And if you look at what Koenigsegg just did
Oh, yeah, I know.
with using old styling cues to make a new car,
Yeah.
like it
Nailed
can't
it.
be that hard.
No.
And it's important to note, I mean, Koenigsegg, that was a one-off. Like that was just like an homage, if you will.
Yeah.
The Utopia is going to be around for a bit.
It is. It's
Like-
gonna be a production car.
Yeah. And the Huayra was around for 12 years,
12 years?
around there,
10 years? 12
around
years?
there. So, I mean, yeah, like Pagani keeps their cars around for a bit. And this monstrosity is, not going away anytime soon. Even the interior doesn't look as nice. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, so I hate that.
It feels like they're trying to subdue the monster they created with the Huayra looks menacing. Like if you look at the first generation, the base,
yes.
the original Huayra, you look at that and you see the lights of it and how small those front lights are and how big everything is and pointy and how the wing mirrors go up and the flaps and everything. And then you look at the Utopia and it's like, you took that Huayra and then you threw it in one of those giant inflatable bubbles that people try and play soccer in.
It does seem like somebody described it to them over the phone and then had them try to draw
Yeah.
a Huayra over the phone.
Yeah.
It kind of gets that feeling. I know. But regardless, I mean, anyways.
It's gonna be an unreal car. Like from a mechanical standpoint,
Yes.
it's gonna be an unreal
will be.
car. But it's not quite there on the design standpoint of things.
Yeah. We do need to talk about is the 10th anniversary of Forza Horizon.
Yes.
10th, like I say, 10th episode, You know what I'm
10th
saying?
episode, 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
They did, they did have an update that came in.
Yeah. Very excited. Very excited about it.
We're very excited about that update. There are a couple things that they did right. There are a couple things that they didn't do as well.
Yeah. And for that full list, you can listen to our last show.
Yeah.
We had a special episode dedicated to the good, the bad, the ugly, everything with that Horizon update. But I mean, the short version is really special radio station, midnight battles, some little homages here and there.
Some new cars.
Yeah. We gave it, my review ended up being a 6.6.
6.6.
Aaron's was a
6.2, 6.3.
Around there.
Yeah, around there.
So it was good, not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, regardless, still a big milestone.
It is.
It is. I mean, 10 years. 10 years. A lot of us have been playing this game.
Yep.
So pretty wild. Pretty wild. I don't really think too many, especially racing games, have this kind of following or growth or community really after like a 10-year point. Usually, it gets phased out or turned into something else. Like, this is just Horizon. This isn't just the Forza brand in general. So pretty big deal.
Yeah, that 10 years is a really big thing for a lot of people, especially Forza. Couple things that I want to continue on when it comes to the new vehicles. We talked about the Pagani Utopia.
You're talking about news.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what's going on right now.
Yeah. I want to talk about a couple other cars that are going to be coming out. BMW M2, the new BMW M2.
Oh.
Now, I want to start with something. I know it's a very controversial look. I like the look of it as a car, but as an update to the previous version of the M2, I don't like it.
Yeah, it just feels like it's going backwards, man. It's hideous. It's disgusting. It's so boxy.
I don't think it's hideous.
It looks like a Bionicle.
I don't think they went forward in their design by any means, but if this was the first kind of version of the M2, then I would like it a lot more.
Yeah,
because there'd be room to grow.
Yeah, it's a movement backwards. The last one was prettier. It looked better. Yeah. It just looks boxy and stupid, and the grill's still getting bigger. I don't know what's going on with that.
Now, keep in mind, this is the first the first iteration of the next generation of M2, because now you have room for the M2 competition. You have room for the facelifted version. You have room for the M2 CS. If they decide to do an M2 CSL, you have room for that. So
you're saying this is the groundwork for potential other trims and body stylings. Okay.
And as the groundwork, I don't think it's that bad.
So you think this is a good foundation?
I think it's a good foundation. Now, where they take this, that could go one of two ways. If the competition and the CS and all that stuff, that could go downhill very quickly with where this base is. But it could also make it look really damn good.
Yeah, we'll see, man. The M2, I don't know, that styling looked better. This one's just too clunky and boxy and squared off. And for some reason, the lights are kind of like nice and flowing and rounded almost.
Yep.
But then the rest of the body is chunky. It looks stupid. It just looks like a box of something. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm also not a really good guy to ask about BMW opinions. I'm not the biggest BMW guy. I never have been, as you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
And you know what? I don't mind.
We'll see. Like it's one of those things. We'll see. You're right. Like, you make good points with the CS and whatnot. So we'll see what happens.
Your new car coming out is the new S650 Mustang.
Yeah, and that'll be a car that it'll be interesting to see how Forza kind of involves that and like which one they get first. Because there's a lot of different trims, right? It's basically, this is a new look for the Mustang.
It is.
It's a new generation. Debatable.
I find meh.
Yeah. I find it meh too. I wonder, from a Forza standpoint, what we get first. Like, do we
Dark
get...
Horse.
You think so? The Dark Horse?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that you already know there's going to be so many trims. There's going to be a 350. There'll be a 500. There's a GT. There's a Dark Horse. There's probably going to be some sort of other special edition one. Blah, blah, blah. We'll see.
Well, so there's the EcoBoost and there's the V8, and then there's the Dark Horse, which is the Dark Horse is basically their first kind of launch edition performance pack.
Yeah, it's just like we'll see. And I always, anytime Forza's done something with a cover car company, or even to an extent like Ferrari with the LaFerrari, like Forza had early access to that to develop or whatever you call source that car.
Yeah.
So I mean, you think back to the GT. And, they had early access to that. They clearly have a good relationship with Ford. It just makes you think, maybe they'll do something digitally. Maybe they'll release a future trim of this car. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I also give it a meh. I probably like it better than the last edition. I think it probably looks a bit more aggressive. It reminds me of, what was that one-off Mustang, a company made?
Oh, the Rocket. I guarantee we have a lot of people being like, you idiot.
Somebody's screaming in the car. That is for sure.
Galpin Rocket.
Yes.
That's it.
I feel like the new one kind of looks like that.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like there's some inspiration from the aggressiveness of it.
Yep.
But I don't know. Also not a huge Mustang guy anyways. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that's integrated. That's for sure.
So Jason, I'm going to give you two choices. Choice number one, we could continue some talk about some new vehicles because there's 3 new vehicles that I know we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Or we could take a detour and cue the music.
I got to get my thoughts together.
You think. Your thoughts together?
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I got to complain right now.
Okay, so let's
I got to get this off my chest.
Let's put on that turn signal and
put on the 4 ways, get out of the car.
Yep, head on into complaint corner. Cue the music.
Man,
Jason, what do we got?
It makes me mad just hearing that music. I hate McDonald's, dude. I hate it. I hate the people who frequent it and the people who are inside the McDonald's, the people who willfully choose to sit down and have food at a McDonald's restaurant. I don't care where you are, anywhere in the world. It's such a garbage option. I hate the feeling you get, even if you just want to get a McFlurry, pending the machine's working, going through the drive-thru and just feeling like a pig just waiting to get the food in the trough and just waiting for the slop to come down. I hate it. I hate that I have to go there at 12:30 at night, and even if I'm just getting a late night ice cream or something like that with a friend.
Yep.
I'm still waiting 15 minutes in a drive-thru.
That's true.
Even then.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate that the food sucks. I hate that the quality's terrible. I hate that my stomach feels like absolute crap every single time I eat there, regardless of what I eat.
Yep.
I hate that there's 4 toppings that you can get on a burger and people somehow say it's good. And I hate how there's 80 better options than that. And at least in Canada, I know it's cheap in the States, but in Canada, if you want to get a Big Mac meal, it's like $13.
Yeah.
At least, maybe
it's
more.
Cheap.
Why would I? That is burrito territory, good sir.
Oh,
why would I not go get a burrito?
Yep.
I can have a burrito and a beer and get loaded out of my goddamn mind.
Yep.
And just be sitting on my couch with a nice chorizo burrito in my belly, man, rather than this fucking swill from McDonald's that I have to wait for like a rat. I hate it. I hate all of the concerning amount of homeless people that seem to frequent there, that are just hanging out. I hate everything about it, man. It is so bad. I can't stand it. I rarely go there. I rarely go there unless I'm in some small, perverted hick town and I have no other choice and I don't even trust the local establishments.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
You know what sound is now stuck in your head? The beeping of the timer.
Cue the McDonald's ambient sounds.
The beeping, like the beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
We just heard it. It's horrific.
I hate it.
Oh my god, man.
And the smells like okay.
Oh, the smells. We can't... And then hey, you know what? Hot take: the fries suck.
They do.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you're clinging on to some memory of like the one time you had good fries from McDonald's, and the 90 other times you've been, and it just sucked.
They've been terrible.
They're so inconsistent, and they're not good. I'm sorry, man. There's like like a fish and chip style fry is better.
Yeah. Hot take on fast food fries. Wendy's.
Wendy's is better. Yeah. Absolutely. Not as good as it used to be, but still better.
Yeah.
A&W in Canada specifically is better. New York fries, which actually I don't think is in the States. I think it's only in Canada. That's better.
Yeah.
Arby's curly fries are arguably better. Oh my
God, Arby's curly fries are unreal.
There's so many different things, man. Five Guys, like In-N-Out Burger.
Five Guys isn't ideal. Like one of the things that I've noticed,
it's still better,
especially about being out east and having the experience out west. Out west, like West Coast Five Guys, way better than East Coast Five Guys.
Yes,
way better.
Yes, I agree. It's. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. That's my complaint for this week is specifically not necessarily fast food, but McDonald's. I hate the idea of waiting the way you have to wait. If you go inside, you have to wait with all these losers.
Yep.
And it just stinks in there, and it always smells like wet dog in every McDonald's I've ever been in. If you wait in the drive-thru, you got to wait 15, 20 minutes for some idiots to get your order wrong, and then they put cheese on my hamburger, and then I have a fit, and I throw it at a passerby on the sidewalk. Oh, my God, dude. I can't take it. So I just, the waiting for something that's inferior and also costs a ton of money drives me nuts. Drives me insane.
I have nothing to argue with. It's
one of my, I don't know if this will be a controversial complaint corner or a highly agreed upon complaint corner. I can see it being highly contested.
Well, I find every single complaint corner, there's some reason where I'm just like, well, you know what? Let's give this the benefit of the doubt. This one, I'm like, every single point you made is a 100% valid point. I agree.
My complaint corners are getting much less irrational and much more, I feel like it's more, I can articulate it better rather than just blind, seething, drooling rage.
Yes.
I have a bit more of a points process, and that's good.
Yeah.
That's what'll happen with 10 episodes, I guess.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyways, I hate it. Get me onto some cars here. Let's continue to tackle.
We'll take the four ways off. We'll head back onto the highway.
Yes.
Hopefully we won't be heading back onto the highway in the Alfa Tonale. Yeah.
So the deal with this car, and that you've informed me, I mean, it's a pretty car.
It is. Yes.
I'll say that. It's a small SUV. It's not a compact SUV.
I would consider it a compact SUV because it's in the same class as the BMW X1.
Okay, so it's a compact SUV. Okay, so this is smaller than the Stelvio.
Oh, considerably.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty looking thing. I like the look of it. The interior seems to be good enough. But I do suddenly have some concerns about the drivability because... Good Lord, this is the same platform as...
the Dodge Hornet.
Kill me. That is not going to be good. That will be a very bad car.
Yeah, so the Dodge Hornet is Dodge's new compact SUV.
And if you know anything about Dodge is pretty entry level.
And they share platforms. I believe this is going to share the platform with the Compass.
Yeah, it should.
The Jeep Compass?
It should.
I might be wrong, so don't. If it doesn't, don't.
Or there might just be a new Jeep. You never know.
You never know. But don't be coming at us if you're like, it doesn't actually share the same platform. It's only me.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. We hate it regardless.
Yeah,
whatever it is, whatever Jeep it is, we're gonna hate that too.
We're gonna hate it. It's Jeep.
So not good. I mean, that's not a good sign. I mean, I understand that Alphas, they rarely develop their own platforms.
Yeah.
But
except for the Giulia.
The Giulia and the Stelvio have the same platform.
Yeah, but it's their own platform.
It's their own. Yeah, but they share so much like FCA crap, right?
Romeo less so than Maserati. Maserati very much share more things with FCA. Less so than they used to because you like in the 2016 Maseratis, you used to turn on the car and the whole touchscreen just looked like it came straight out of a Dodge Grand Caravan.
Yes.
Like it was terrible.
Yes.
Like you're like, I paid $80,000 for something that comes out of a $20,000 Grand Caravan. Awful.
Regardless, I mean, the reason we're talking about a compact SUV is because it's Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is not not a brand that's in Forza right now.
No.
As far as we know, I haven't really heard any rumblings that it'll be coming back anytime soon.
I don't think so. Unfortunately.
There's just a lot of trickiness with the way they're doing rights or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, it's just a little disappointing. They only have a couple models right now. Like, they're one of those companies you're always kind of rooting for. You're always kind of wishing that there'd be more Alfa Romeos on the road, especially in North America.
Yeah.
They're kind of trying to make a comeback here. And yeah, I think this is going to be a stinkmobile.
Yeah, the Tonale,
I get a stinkmobile feeling.
Isn't going to be ideal. No. Now, when it comes to Italian FCA products, the Maserati Grecale has been announced and unveiled and is being shown across the country. Now, that one has a horrible name, but it looks pretty cool. And it has a couple pretty cool engine options. I think the biggest one is the twin turbo V6 in the sporty version of the Grecale. But again, it's a horrible name. It looks good though. I very much enjoy the looks. I think it's going to be slightly smaller than the Stelvio, but not as small as the Tonale. So it's kind of like the dimensions are just smaller than the Stelvio, because the Maserati Levante is the big SUV.
That is, yes. It's a pretty thing.
It is a pretty thing. And then the Alfa Stelvio is slightly smaller than the Levante, and I think the Grecale is going to be slightly smaller than the Stelvio, and then the Tonale, which is an Alfa Romeo, is going to be slightly smaller than the Grecale.
Regardless, the Grecale, stupid name. You're right. I hate it. Stupid.
Yep.
It reminds me of Gumpert.
Yes.
I think this thing looks so stupid, man. It looks like a perverted E-Type. Somehow.
You don't like it?
No, I don't. No, because the Levante looks so good. It just looks like, I don't know. It looks like somebody picked the skew option for a 4-door car and just like dragged it down.
Okay, you know what? If you don't like that,
the performance ones look pretty good though.
Okay, that's what I thought you were.
The base ones are stinky.
Yeah, the base ones I'm not a fan of. Just I thought you were looking at the performance.
Wow, it's low too.
It is.
Holy cow. Okay.
So I don't know if you've seen, but have you seen the new pictures of the new Gran Turismo?
Car of the game.
The car.
No.
Maserati Gran Turismo, because they did an update on it. So it's a new generation.
By the way, I'm just saying it isn't my choice for fuck that car. But next week I've already decided the Ghibli. I fucking hate the Ghibli.
Oh, okay.
I just spoiler. I'm gonna take like weeks to prepare for this. I hate the Ghibli.
Okay, I'll do some research. No, that'll be good.
Okay, I can't stand that car. That'll be a team up, just absolute beat down on that car.
Beat down on it. Oh yeah, we will demolish.
I hate it.
The Ghibli.
Okay, so anyway, sorry, the Maserati, new Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo, yeah, 2023, 2024, whatever it is. I'm curious.
It looks like they copied a Fisker.
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks the same.
It looks the same as the Grecale, because it's their new design language.
And I hate it.
With the MC20, the Grecale, the new
well, the back's
Turismo.
Nice though, but I mean it's because the back looks
nice.
like the same.
Yeah.
So that's why it looks nice. The Gran Turismo has a very good place in my heart. I love the sound of it. I love how high it revs.
Yes.
There's a lot to like about that car. I love the styling of it. I think it's one of the better designed cars of the past 10 years. Like, there's aesthetically, there's really nothing to pick apart about
15 years.
Yeah. Like, it's really hard to think of anything. Like, I mean, them and Aston, like if you think of the Vantage, they kind of nailed that, right? You know what I mean? Like, how do you improve any of those cars?
Like 2014 Aston V8 Vantage.
Yeah.
2014 Maserati Gran Turismo.
Yeah, the performance trim, whatever it was.
The MC Stradale. That's it. Oh, you put those two together.
But you know what I mean? The thing with those cars is you can't improve them.
No.
Like, that's why Maserati stuck with that design language for so long. Same with Aston.
Yeah.
But Aston was just like, blow it up, make a new one. And it's still nice what they have now. But I mean, man, that's going to go down as one of like the prettiest cars ever. It's so nice. So, this thing stinks. The front of it looks like a a weirdo Bizarre World Fisker. The back looks pretty, I'll give it that, but it looks like the old Gran Turismo. So
it does, yeah.
I don't know. And the EV component, man, I don't like how everybody's going to this EV heavy. I like when it's a complementary piece towards the engine.
Yeah.
But I think it's, like right now, so this past season, Mercedes, for example, I think other teams have been doing it too, but they're using synthetic fuel.
Okay.
So like their transport or hauler, whatever you want to call it,
yep.
lorry,
yep.
they're using 100% synthetic, renewable, zero emissions fuel.
Wow. Okay.
And next year, F1, or the year after, one or the other, I think it's next year, F1 is switching to the same thing, fully renewable, no emission, synthetic fuel.
And that's what they're going to be used
in the cars.
In the cars during the racing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you can do that at the highest level of motorsport in a high performance environment, I think a lot of manufacturers, especially when they're doing this in their top end cars and they're going to as high of a bias towards electric as they are right now, I think they're going to regret that because you're going to put a lot of money into EV development when you realize you didn't really have to. And people are going to commit to it. And I think ultimately that's what's going to force a bigger electrical kind of shift is people are going to commit to this and not want to diverge from it. But I mean, damn, dude, it's seeming a bit premature. I mean, regulations don't change until about 2035 for most places, right? I know emissions are always changing, but synthetic fuel emissions will remain.
Well, and did you see how I think it was the 2030s, 2040s, whatever it was, that Ferrari is going to be dropping down to 20% internal combustion. Like 20% of their vehicles are going to be, or 20% of the whatever production stuff is going to be internal combustion.
That drives me nuts. Oh, 20% of their stuff or 20% of the engine output?
I think 20% of the, I'm pretty sure it's output is internal combustion. I don't think it's going to be 20% of their products. I think it's 20% of the output is internal combustion.
That's not good. Yeah, see, I can't see that, right? Like, there's just so many problems, and we've discussed it on other shows.
Ferrari.
I know, it just seems like sacrilege, doesn't it?
Like when it comes to certain brands, I don't know if you've seen, this is another car that was like just released, and this kind of segues into the next car because the next car that we're going to be talking about is the Cadillac Celestiq.
Yeah, hold my beer.
Which is a beautiful.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. It's going to be electric.
The Cadillac?
Yeah. So that's a high-end luxury / wagon. That makes sense to be electric because you want it to be as quiet and as comfortable and as waftable as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you've seen, but Rolls-Royce has just released their first fully electric vehicle.
I didn't know that, no.
Called the Spectre.
Sick name, actually.
It is beautiful. They have released the design of this vehicle is decades ahead of its time.
Really?
It is gorgeous. It is a spiritual successor to the Phantom Coupe. So size-wise, it's a spiritual successor to the Phantom Coupe.
Yeah, looks like it.
It is drop dead gorgeous.
It is nice. Yeah,
I love the look of that car. Rolls-Royce absolutely nailed it.
Your cadence there was kind of like you were describing like an entree at a fancy restaurant.
I'm sorry. I do not care. The pictures I have seen of this thing, I have never wanted a Rolls-Royce more.
Now, you know what's funny is I actually just found an article that compares that exact Rolls-Royce you're talking about
to the Cadillac
and the Cadillac.
Really?
Yeah. It directly compares the two.
Interesting.
It's funny. So, I mean, you're right. The Rolls is beautiful. It's a gorgeous car.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely makes sense that it's a spiritual successor to the Phantom. This Cadillac, though, and I mean, it's important to note, Cadillac is kind of trying to do like a subtle rebrand right now. They just did the Lyric, which is like this real zesty SUV thing.
It is.
It's zesty.
It is. I will 100% back that up. It's very zesty.
Oh my God. The interior is unreal. The styling cues are so much better. It looks very significant. And it's the same with this thing we're going to be talking about here, which is the Cadillac Celestiq. It's 2024. It's an EV. It almost looks like a wagon, and it kind of is. It's
more
just
of a hatch.
It's like a hatch speedtail.
Yeah.
Kind of. I would compare it to a elongated RS7 kind of back.
Yeah, like
you
the back
Sport
of
back.
a Jensen Interceptor.
Yeah. Sport back, I think, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't know. Anyways, it's a
big,
long car.
Piece of glass.
You are definitely going to need that bird's eye camera when you're backing this thing up.
You're going to need more than one bird's eye camera. You're going to need a whole flock of pigeons.
You're going to need a satellite.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's big.
Like it's a big boy for sure. I mean, 323-mile range on the Spectre. I don't know if that's going to mean anything because I don't think I have a comparison for you for the Cadillac, but I do think it was kind of similar. I mean,
the one thing I don't like, and you know what? Again, this is Cadillac's, attempt at a rebrand. I'm not too sure I'm not too sure how I feel about the look of the back of the Cadillac.
Of the Cadillac, yeah. Well, it's kind of speedtailish, right? Like that's the whole thing. It's just like this elongated kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But it's never really mattered with that kind of clientele. I mean, to be truthful, I mean, the Rolls have all kind of looked the same. And I mean, they only look nice for the reason that it's a Rolls, right? Like if it was any other badge on it, I don't know if it'd get as much credit as it does. And I'm guilty of the same thing. But what's cool with the Cadillac is it's hand built, like entirely hand built. To my knowledge, everything's forged like by just regular people. Like there's very little machine process here. Like it's people machining things. And it's a $300,000 car for a Cadillac.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's hard to justify, but is this where Cadillac's going? I certainly hope so, because they've still got that name. They've still got that certain cachet.
Yeah,
and wherever you go, if you say you got a Cadillac or something, people are always like, "Oh, Cadillac," even though like we both know Cadillacs aren't in the same tier as Mercedes, BMW.
Rolls-Royce,
Audi, Lexus, especially Rolls-Royce. Jesus Christ!
See, but that's my issue about Cadillac. Now, what my concern is if this Celestiq.
But I mean, if I'm looking at the two interiors between them, I really
beautiful.
Don't think like it's a tough choice, man.
It is. No. I don't have an issue with the pricing of the Celestiq. My issue is with the badge because it's unestablished right now.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the LFA, right? How
very much so. Well, yeah, sort of.
So just bear with me.
Yep.
So because when the LFA first came out, it was a Lexus that you would spend $500,000 on, and that's a lot of money. Now, if someone said, "Oh, what do you drive?" you would have to say a Lexus, and you're like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Right.
How much did you pay for your Lexus? $500,000. And people would look at you like you're nuts because you spent $500,000 on a Lexus. Now, granted, after some time has passed and after people realize what the car is, now when someone asks, "What do you drive?" you don't say a Lexus, you say, "I have an LFA." And people lose their mind and probably you're going to have to change their underwear. But my concern is when the Celestiq comes out and it costs $300,000 and you buy one and you spend that kind of money and someone asks, and you're talking about, "Oh, I'm so excited. I just ordered a new vehicle. I'm super excited about it. It's this brand new electric vehicle. It's hand built. It's luxurious. It's great."
Well, what is it?
A Cadillac.
Oh. And then you've got that same reaction, yeah.
You get that same,
I get you.
And then you're going to have to explain it, and you're like, "Oh, but it's the Celestiq, and it's."
And we've always talked about, the second you got to explain a car, it's a Top Gear thing, but the second you got to explain a car to somebody, it no longer is cool.
It's true.
Now, I might counter something here, though.
Okay.
Is this a car that needs to be cool? I don't know. And there's a couple different layers to this. When you start to consider Genesis, right?
Yeah.
We both know those are nice cars. People who have the top end Genesis cars know those are nice cars, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I really don't think those guys care. And you know what I mean? Like it's not a car necessarily where you need to prove anything from the outside as much as, let's say, a sports car. a performance car, something like this. There's a significant like less flash. There is some prestige to it. It's just a different way of delivering that.
That's true.
Visually. I would argue with Lexus and Genesis. I mean, Lexus has always been at kind of the same brand hierarchy as ever. Genesis is on its way up. I would say it's
the new G90 is
and
a 6-figure car.
Yep. And I would say it's at the same level as Cadillac right now.
Yep.
However, I do think that Cadillac, I mean, Jesus, for decades was the top of elegance in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like they were right there with the Rolls Royces and with the main brands.
Oh, I mean, you go back in time and you look at the Eldorado and you just drool.
Everything, right? Like, I mean, you go to the 30s and the 40s, like they were the top tier car for a long time. And the Cadillac, you know, it still has that name to it.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to be said that they used to be the best automaker in the world. Like I'm talking a very long time ago, but it's been done. You still could make that name for yourself. It'd probably take about 10 years. And I think it's a good start by doing this. Like I was saying to you earlier. Yeah.
They're definitely diving into the deep end.
They've got that Bentley concept where it's like, you know, the car remember we talked about weeks ago, that one Bentley, and I loved the look of it. And then it ended up being $600,000 and then I hated it.
Or whatever it was. The Batour.
Yeah. And I'm like, I like this. I love this. And you're like, it's $600,000. And I was like, I hate this car. $2 million?
$2 million.
I hate it even more.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like it's the same thing with the Cadillac. I like that car. You put it for $300,000. I don't know if it's necessarily like I would want a Cadillac for $300,000, but you're assigning value to something and idiots are going to buy it because it's $300,000.
It's true.
So if you continue to do that with more cars, they have like a special lyric somehow, or, you know, more cars they keep pumping out that are hand built, beautiful.
Well, you have
whatever.
the lyric and then you have the chorus.
God, I hate myself. So, all I know, the lyric's a stupid name. The Celestic's kind of cool.
Cadillac Bridge.
Cadillac saxophone. So, all I know is I kind of like where they're going with this. I think it looks pretty neat. It's definitely it's not for everybody, but I like the hand built part and I like the price. I wouldn't pay it. I don't have the money for it, but I still wouldn't pay it. And I'm interested to see where that brand's going to go now.
Yeah.
Because this seems to be a bit of a shift. Because you got to think they're going into motorsport.
Yeah.
A little bit more than ever. And
they're gonna need something to sell.
Why are they going into motorsport? Why is the push this heavy? Why are they in IMSA and FIA WEC and ELMS?
What are they developing? Something's
on the way.
Yeah.
So I think this is something's coming here. That's kind of my thought process. So, and interestingly, there's been some F1 news as well.
Yes, there has.
In the sense, well, I mean, first of all, Max Verstappen, world champion.
Yeah. I mean, hats off to you, Max. Good job.
Yeah, I don't care. Woo, whatever. You might be a Max fan. You know what? He had a good drive this year.
He did.
Clearly a much better car. Kept it consistent. Was much more cool under pressure.
The car was a big one.
The car was a big one. There's some controversy right now about the whole cost cap stuff. At the time of recording, we really don't know what penalty's going to end up.
Yeah, we don't know how it's going to go.
So we'll see. But I mean, yeah, it was never really close, was it? After maybe the week 3, race 3.
No.
Yeah,
but I mean, when you have such a big change like you did between the 2021 and the 2022 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was a huge change between the vehicles, but like between the cars. Going from the 15 to the 18-inch wheels, like the engines are different. The aerodynamic
tire warmer, percent, or what do you call it? Heat temperature is different.
Temperature is different. Everything like tire compound, everything changed.
Yep.
Everything changed.
And everybody kind of rolled the dice on the side pods too.
Yeah.
Paid off for some people, for Red Bull, it definitely did.
Yep.
And I mean, they definitely got the formula right, but we'll see if it was because of the cost cap stuff.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, it might have just been that bull testosterone. You never know.
You never know. Yeah. Red Bull, the one with the zero sugar or whatever. Could have been it.
Sugar free.
Makes it a little lighter.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was going to get into though, in relation to the last thing we were talking about,
Porsche
with Cadillac. Porsche, man. So a little bit of news we picked up on here was Porsche somehow didn't file in time to apply for a team for F1.
Which doesn't sound very Porsche.
No.
Porsche being late to something doesn't sound very Porsche.
Yeah, like the report that went out is, they missed. That was the key word. They missed the filing time.
No,
so by missing
they
it,
purposefully did not file.
Yeah, that's the only thing that would make sense. Because if you think about it, okay, so Porsche puts all this money into everything, right? They make this big announcement. They're going to be joining F1. They're going to have their own team. They're going to partner with Red Bull for the time being.
They have a car.
Do all this stuff, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They yoink their team out of FIA WEC, out of ELMS, and out of IMSA.
Audi does.
Porsche does. Yeah, right? Porsche did.
No, Audi did.
Audi did. Okay.
Audi yoinked everything out.
Oh, right.
Audi
so
yoinked everything out. Porsche's still there.
So, what I'm thinking is, how the heck do you miss that timeline when you've got all these other moving parts in other places, and Audi makes that decision? Like, I don't know. I get this feeling, and then this is my ultimate point here. Sauber and Alfa Romeo, they've got one more year left with their partnership, and they will not be renewing that partnership. Sounds like that's an Alfa Romeo decision.
I think so.
They say there's still talk that things could change, blah, 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 but at this time they're not renewing. I think Alfa's done its job. I don't think they have the money to keep that going. I mean, it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Alfa? No, definitely not. Yeah. They're not selling enough cars.
They're just not, at least not over here, and I would suspect everywhere else, and I don't think it's really paying off. And I think it did the job, like, brand recognition-wise. I think at this point, like, if you don't know Alfa by now, you're not going to know them. So I think they're gone. I think Sauber is going to stick around, and, I mean, the speculation is Porsche or Audi is going to be all over that 2025, 2026 when the time comes.
Yeah.
I think, because this was publicized pretty heavily. After the whole Audi and Porsche announcement, they're like, Sauber and Alfa's in trouble. Like, I wonder why that is. Like, it's probably because of Porsche or Audi. I think Porsche learned at the same time the rest of us did. I think that's really what happened. They're like, damn, you know what? Why don't we just do that?
Yeah.
So I bet you what they'll do is they'll either partner or buy out Sauber.
What, Porsche will?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that becomes, like, you got to think, right? Red Bull owns all of the Honda stuff now, right? Honda's no longer involved.
No.
It's Red Bull engines that Honda just developed.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Porsche just buy all of, like, their other developed stuff? Then they don't necessarily have to worry about maybe an engine supply stuff, because I think that they're 100% not doing engine supplier stuff now with Porsche not filing. I mean,
because they can't. They missed it.
Yeah, so they, like, something else is up here. So I just feel like,
in the works.
So why not just buy Sauber and then partner with a Porsche Audi team in 2025, 2026? Because stuff moves around all the time.
Yeah.
And then just have somebody else provide the engine. Why not do that?
Easy.
Right? Like, why not? Like, or you know what? Another thing too is the synthetic fuel stuff could be changing things.
It could.
Right?
It could.
One of the things I've speculated is synthetic fuel. Like, why not just try to see how much you can burn in a race? If it's clean burning, bring back some V10s.
Well, that was something that Porsche was wanting to develop, though, was synthetic fuels.
They're the leaders.
Or yeah,
in it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if Formula One is working on how synthetic fuels perform in, extreme high performance, I think Porsche is going to want to try and get as big of a piece of that pie as possible so that they can, move that technology into their road cars.
Yeah,
because if they can, imagine if they can bring back like a high revving V8 or a V10 into a road car again.
Don't get me started. I wish, and I actually, for the first time, feel like that could be a realistic option.
It could,
because if they
not within the next 10 years, probably. But
I don't know. It depends whenever they crack it, right? Like, if they're already switching to that in the cars next year, I feel like you would want to have teams working out, like, different ways for the fuel to burn and, like, to maximize the efficiencies, whatever, right? Why not give them a high performance, like, big boy engine, a V8, a V10, something, even a V12, who the hell cares? And then focus purely on fuel consumption and the way it burns and making sure it burns clean. And honestly, at that point, it pushes the provider to figure out how they can provide that much more fuel to these teams in a shorter amount of time, because that's really the biggest issue. Synthetic fuel's here. Like, we've talked about it. It's here. It works. Everything's fine. The issue is mass production. So whenever that gets figured out is when we're going to see this at the petrol pumps.
Yes.
So we'll see. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if you told me 4 years. I wouldn't be shocked if you told me 15. Yeah. It really depends. Stuff moves quick, right? Like, I mean, I didn't think everybody would go and be electric as fast as it did, right? Like, that seemed to happen overnight. Now we have like high performance supercars where we're talking about in a couple of years, there'll be like 60% electrical output.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I mean, it was weird, very un-Porsche-ish move at the bottom line. Like, something else is coming here. It's something to keep an eye on. It's something we're going to keep an eye on.
Yep.
Sure. I don't know.
So we have one more thing before we finish off the show, and it's our other segment. And if you don't know what that is, go back to the first, I don't know, what is it, 8 episodes?
9. Sort of. We had a couple special editions.
We did have a couple specials.
Go listen to some episodes. If you don't know what segue we're talking about. Don't listen to the first 3. The first 3 are we talk through a McDonald's, what do you call it? Drive-through
microphone. Yeah. They're bad. Anyway, fuck that car.
Cue that music. Cue
the music. Yep. Fuck that car.
I like this song
too. Okay, so it's my pick this week. I know you preemptively picked your vehicle for next week.
Yes, the Ghibli.
Oddly enough, my vehicle starts with the same letter.
A G.
Wagon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
G-Wagon.
The Mercedes G-Wagon. Now, first of all, I want to say I don't hate.
Does this car make you mad?
The car makes me mad.
Why?
And the people that buy it make me mad.
Okay, explain. Get fired up here.
Okay. So, first of all, the G-Wagon is a brick.
Okay.
And you cannot deny that the G-Wagon is an absolute brick.
It's a lard of a car.
It is a lard of a car. Like, you're going to Superstore or some, whatever fucking bullshit grocery store, and you're like, I want a brick of lard. Like, I want a 17-kilogram block of lard that I'm going to be melting down to cover my body with. Like, that's the type of person that's going to buy a G-Wagon, because it's the only type of person who has that few brain cells to think, I'm going to spend $250,000 on a brick. Now, they're not comfortable to drive.
No.
In any way. They're not aerodynamic.
No.
In any way, because it's a brick.
They're not good at off-roading.
They're not, well, okay. They're not terrible at off-roading.
Conceptually, they suck at off-roading.
Because
if you have Magno paint that's valued at about $25,000 for a respray, at minimum.
Yes. Yeah. So if you were to buy a G-Wagon, you're not going to take it off-roading. If I was to buy a Porsche Cayenne, I would take it off-roading.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have an issue with it. Because you know what? I'm not going to be spending $25,000 on a paint job on a Porsche Cayenne.
It's not a $250,000 car.
No, it's not.
I get you.
It's a $120,000 car that's just as capable.
So who is the
as
G-Wagon built for?
The G-Wagon is built for Muppets.
Muppets.
Like absolute Muppets. The people who have so much throwaway money, and they're just trying to find a way to show how much money they have by buying the worst vehicle possible. Because it's $250,000.
Yep.
That's a lot of vehicle. Like there's a lot of shit you could buy for
anything over $120. You're in a crazy territory.
Anything over $120, you can buy so many things. You have so many choices. So you have so much throwaway money. If you're spending $250,000 on a vehicle, you could buy supercars. You could buy hypercars. You could buy hyper luxury cars.
Even just SUVs, your options are insane.
Even SUVs, exactly. If someone gave you $250,000 and you said go buy an SUV, you could buy pretty much whatever the fuck you wanted.
Yep.
Minus, a brand new Bentley Bentayga, Rolls Royce, or probably the new Ferrari,
the Purosangue.
The Purosangue. But you could buy for $250,000.
What?
You could buy an Aston Martin. You could buy
a
DBX.
Really?
You can buy a DBX for $250,000. You could buy a used Lamborghini Urus for $250,000.
Now, it is important to note that the interior of this thing still sucks.
It still sucks.
Like
even the brand new ones.
It's not good.
Even the brand new ones. Yes, the brand new ones have the updated touchscreen and the updated,
it doesn't matter.
Screens and I have the fancy steering wheel with the haptic feedback. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Who cares?
And you know what? The big thing I always said too was like, my car, 2014 C63, right?
Yep.
The 2014 G-Wagon has virtually the same
Exactly the same interior.
My seats are better.
Yes.
So
and more comfortable.
Yeah.
And yours is more comfortable to be in.
Yeah.
In a driving position or in a passenger position.
Yeah.
Because I have both driven and been a passenger in G-Wagons.
I believe I have less road noise, marginally.
Yes.
And I believe mine rides better.
Yes. The G-Wagon is terrible at corners. It is terrible at acceleration. The G65 with the V12 that is worse on fuel is actually slower than the G63, which has the V8, mainly because the G63 has more torque.
Right.
Because it's a turbocharged.
So you're even saying,
V8.
the G65 was the V12.
That was the V12. It was a worse vehicle.
So, yeah.
It was worse.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it was like
an extra $50,000.
We're still talking about historical G-Wagons being expensive here.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How much are you talking? Like what's like a 2008?
You're spending, I don't know, maybe $60,000.
Really?
Yep.
And is that for an AMG or is that's for like a 500?
That's a G500.
The base model.
Yes. You still technically get the V8, but you get the 2008 Mercedes interior with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0 in the round buttons that make the weird clicky noise
yes, the disgusting
Mac.
Yes, and you get a 5.5 under the hood.
5.5 compressor V8, I believe.
It's a compressor.
Yeah, so supercharged.
Wow. What a crock. 60 grand.
60 grand.
Ugh.
For some crap interior Mercedes that drives like a piece of shit.
Because that's kind of what I was getting at is
if you have 60 grand, you could buy an E63 wagon.
Yeah. Here's my point is why would you not do any year, okay? So from 2002, 2008, 2014, 2022.
Yep.
Why would you not take like the performance car of whatever that year was?
Yep.
Okay, so let's say 2022.
Yep.
Not even performance car. S63.
Okay.
I would drool over an S63.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
A 2014, I'd rather have my car for sure. So C63, E63.
E63 wagon.
Wagons, I mean, for sure. Those of you in Europe that are listening, yes. For God's
we have
sake.
the E63 wagon in North America.
Yeah, that's true. But like C63, I was going to say my car, C63 507 wagon, I would drool.
I would drool.
2008, I mean, lots of options there.
I mean, like even if you look at a 2008, so if you go to 2008,
2007 R63,
you have R63 wagons, which are the exact same engine as you would get in the G63 of the same year.
Yep.
Exact same engines.
Yep.
And they cost a third of the price.
And my point is, what is different about the inside?
Nothing.
That's what I mean.
Nothing.
So it's like you're paying for a Lego car.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've actually joined your fuck that car of the week because I actually hate it too. I hate what it stands for.
G-Wagon is a gross wagon.
It is a gross wagon. Grotesque car. Yeah, it's just stupid. I don't like what it stands for.
And honestly, if you
it's a clout car.
If you look at any generation of a G-Wagon from the front, it looks cross-eyed.
Oh, I can't unthink that now. That's ruined forever. Yeah, it does.
Am I
it
wrong?
does.
It looks cross-eyed.
It looks
the way that the halogens are laid out.
It tries to like lick its own nose in the winter. Yeah. Ugh,
it's like a snowflake landed on the Mercedes badge, and it's just like, I'm gonna try and get it.
Yeah. I hate that. My God, thanks for telling me that. Jesus Christ. Anyways. Yeah, I don't like the G-Wagon very much. I don't like that. I don't like the old ones and the used ones, and it's all just clout. But side pipes.
I know.
That's it. That's like the only redeeming quality.
Again, I'm not hating on every single G-Wagon out there because there are some of them that are really nice.
You're hating on the G-Wagon for the price.
I'm hating on the G-Wagon for the price.
Yes.
For the price and the people who buy it, that's why I'm hating on it, because
it's still stupid.
It is stupid.
It is. It should be one of their cheaper cars.
Yes.
If
it should be, honestly, if the G-Wagon and the E-Class were priced in the same, bracket-ish, like where if you could buy a G63 or an E63 S wagon for around the same price,
or even a GLS.
Even a GLS.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd be like, sure. Yep. That makes sense. 100%. No problem.
Yeah, because the GLS is nicer.
Yep.
But like if you wanted to pay for the novelty of having a G-Wagon and the side pipes and whatever,
then sure.
It should be the same price, but the interior is worse. The GLS interior is gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Way nicer.
It's unbelievable.
Way nicer. And the seats are more comfortable and the ride is better.
And I believe it's half the price.
It is half the price.
It's insane.
If you were to
way
buy
rather have the
a
GLS.
G63 versus a GLS 63, half the price.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Okay, maybe not half the price. $75,000 less.
I think it's substantial.
It is a substantial amount of money.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that so much.
Yeah. So anyway,
okay.
Fuck that car. G-Wagon is stupid. Like the price and the people who buy it and the idea behind it is stupid. Fuck that car.
Oh, hey, by the way, last week.
Yes.
Or not last week, but a little bit ago, we were down in Delaware. We haven't talked about this yet.
No, we haven't.
Delaware is kind of our local oval track. It's just a little short track.
NASCAR Pinty Series.
Pinty Series, yes. NASCAR sanctioned, so it's like the Canadian NASCAR minor leagues, basically.
Yeah.
And
still an unreal race.
Oh, it was an unreal race that kind of came down to the wire too. Very much down to the wire.
Big crash at the end.
Big crash at the end. Yes, it was pretty insane. And no, it was a good race to be at, man. It was nice to go to like our local track and kind of take all of that in. Watch a couple, like we got to watch quali. We had a good time there. Yep. We had some nice passes. So
I
got some food.
Numerous beer cozies taken home.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And unfortunately, we did get to see our good buddy Sam, but he was binned by some sort of poverty car.
Yes.
He got turned into turn 3, and that sucked. So his day was over, I want to say, like lap 9 or something like that. So that sucked.
It was really like early on into the race.
Yeah, he looked okay. Like Sam did a decent job of qualifying too. Like it was kind of a colder day. Like
well, his first lap was quick. Like,
it was.
He had a really quick first lap, and even the commentators were like, "That was a great first lap." Let's see what he does on the second. And it was just, I think it was a bad entry or something like that. I know Sam, if you're listening,
kicked out a little bit on him. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But yeah, coming up to turn 3, it just didn't quite work and didn't get that faster time. But yeah, I mean, even if there was a potential for definitely top 10 quali spot.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
Sure.
And I think the big thing too is with these shorter kind of oval track, NASCAR-esque races, how they do quali, if you're not familiar, is they just kind of have like an out lap, right? So you start in the pits.
Yep.
And you do your out lap. So you go around the track. That's your first lap of quali. Your second lap, and then you're done.
Yep.
You just 2 flying laps. That's it. See what you can do. You're the only car on the track, right? Yep. Then the next guy goes, the next guy, whatever.
Yeah.
So basically, Sam's out lap was fantastic.
Yep.
His first lap, it was like, okay, well, like he's just kind of getting in the groove because it was cold, man.
It was
right. So it's all
chilly.
about how much heat can you generate in these tires
within
in a short amount of time,
lap.
right?
Yeah.
So his second lap was really the one where he had to make it count, and I'm pretty sure he kicked it coming into turn 1 or out of turn 1, or actually 3. Yeah. So. It was just one of those things. So he ended up qualifying. He was like middle of the pack, and just got turned. You could see him kind of starting to make a little bit of a charge here. Yeah, there was the front pack and the back pack. He was
moving up.
He was making the transition into the front. So
he was.
Sucked to see. It was good to see him though. We talked to him for a quick second.
I mean, he was busy. He was signing the autographs.
Oh, absolutely. It's always good to see him. I mean, obviously, our summer podcast, we had a great time at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park up by Toronto.
Yeah.
And Pinty's is a good series. So if you're in the area, I know we have some people who listen in the London area, which is very close to Delaware.
It is very close.
It's good to go to. That was their season finale. That was their last race of the year, and it was right here just in our neck of the woods. And it was cool, man. It was cool to go. So it kind of sucks because it kind of almost marks the end of the race season. We got 3 F1 races remaining, which is the big stinky, or I think it's 4, US, Mexico, Abu Dhabi, and something else.
Jeddah.
Maybe.
I know that was a joke, so maybe.
Maybe. I thought that was started the end of the year. I don't know. But so things are winding down. The Forza stuff, I mean, we didn't have a whole lot to talk about. We had
too much.
We covered that, like in our dedicated episode, but
yep.
We're going to be talking a little bit more about the nostalgia part, I think, of Horizon 1.
Come later this month, end of October, even maybe beginning of November.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking a lot about Horizon 1. We want to focus on how Horizon 1 made us feel, the nostalgia behind it, some of our favorite things about it. We'll go over the cars, we'll go over the story, we'll go over the feelings that you got starting that game up and going at it for the first time.
Yeah, like
that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty wild. And like we'll relive some of the different components of it, and we'll kind of go through the various parts, like what were the showcase cars? Yep. What were the unicorns? What were some of the different storylines, the people you would have ended up playing against, the cutscenes, some of our favorite cars that haven't been in the game since, ideas or concepts that were introduced that we take for granted now, music. For sure. We're going to have a lot to talk about with music, how that really kind of, forged things and even changed a lot of our own personal music tastes. That's a big point as well. So that'll be an exciting show. I mean, as far as Forza stuff, we didn't talk too much about it this week. There isn't a whole lot. Like this is just a kind of like a celebratory month. I mean, we have been getting a lot of questions though about the donut sort of characters that are going to be in the game. So I just want to assure people this is happening.
It is happening.
Like this is happening. This wasn't like rumor. This wasn't anything like that.
No.
Like this was in their show. This is something they confirmed.
It is happening. It is happening in the update after this one finishes. So after...
Oh, that's official?
Yep. After the week of the Horizon 4 finale for the anniversary pack, the season after that, which I believe is season 14 or season 15...
It's probably 14, I think, right?
I think so. I don't know. Whatever it's going
Some
to be.
Season.
The season after this current one, or like the series after this current one. So you're going to have your Horizon 1, 2, 3, 4. After Horizon 4 finishes, then it's going to update. That's where we're going to see the donut stuff pop in.
Right. Okay.
Fact confirmed. It is happening.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be sure to put that out on social media.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
It is.
That's, going to solve a lot of issues that we've complained about.
These 2 months are going to be good. Like you get the anniversary stuff and then you get donut. Win-win.
Yeah, that's a big reason why, we kind of took a little bit of a break here. There's a bit of a lull going on. We had the Hot Wheels car pack or the expansion. It was good.
It was good.
It was we had a good time with it. But I mean, the game itself, like we're starting to get into the dog days, I think. After these next 2 little updates, if you will, it'll be a ton of fun, but it'll be interesting to see how they kind of keep things going, because I fear we might be getting to that lull right before the new Forza Motorsport.
Yeah,
that's kind of my guess. That would be my guess.
I think so.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the life cycle of this game's going to be too. I'm not sure. Like the new Forza Motorsport that's coming, it sounds like this is like a Fortnite kind of thing where it's going to just be the same game that's around for a while and it just keeps getting updated, right? Or a GTA 5 is another good comparison, right? Where it's out and then they just update it and they add stuff and just keep going
over and over again.
It sounds like that's probably what's going to happen if the name is going to just Forza Motorsport.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see if the concept remains with Horizon 5.
Yeah.
Like where they just kind of, keep that same game for a while. I don't know. It's equipped to do it like that, but I mean, with any Horizon game, at some point the map gets stale.
Yeah.
So,
and
it'll be interesting to see.
I think we're kind of getting to that point with Horizon 5 where that main map is getting kind of
I don't
stale.
like it.
It's stale.
Like we were talking about this. It was really good, right? Like when we started doing the show.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh boy, was the game ever great. It just seemed electric. The first month, it wasn't even like, we were just playing into the hype or whatever. It seemed great. It seemed fantastic.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of fell flat story-wise. And I think it's because at that point, when you start having to put so much time into, okay, well, there's no story. There's not really a ton of direction. Same issue as always. There's not like a ton going on. Then you just drive around, right? You drive from place to place and you do whatever. And then you get sick of the map because you get overexposed to the map. And you know what I mean? So
now Forza has added enough cars in Horizon 5 that I very much just enjoy driving. And the map is enjoyable enough for me to like have those 2 or 3 favorite roads that I'll just drive on. But once I've done that drive with the new cars or the drive with, you know, some of my favorite cars, I'm just bored. And I'm just like, all right, I've done what I want to do in the season. I have the new car. I've driven it around. It's all right. And that's done. That's it. Like I don't feel compelled to continue to play.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the solution is with the game. Well, I kind of do, sort of. I'm lying, but
yeah,
it'll just be interesting to see how they kind of combat a lot of these issues over the next little bit. But regardless, yeah. So that's all that's going on with motorsport. Nothing too crazy right now. Or sorry, motorsport. Fucking Jesus, nothing crazy going on with Horizon. Yeah. More about stuff in the car world. So, anyways,
yeah. But I think that's really about it. I mean, we have nothing much more at the moment. Again, as time continues, as the next couple weeks unfold, especially with this anniversary pack, we're going to be doing a lot of updates on Instagram. So please make sure check out the Instagram, follow up with that. We're going to be posting videos on the intro screens. First one's up there already for Horizon 1. Horizon 2, 3, and 4, the intro screens are going to be on there, and then boom, we're going to be into the donut expansion, donut update. So
some quiet stuff right now. Like, I mean, it is what it is, right? Just a nice quiet episode. But anyways, fun stuff coming in. Fun stuff. So that'll do it.
That'll do it for episode 10.
Episode 10. Thanks
Double digits, baby.
Yep.